Hello, chat. How are you? It is I, Clarkio. Welcome to another BuildUpDevs live. Hold on a minute. We have to have our co-host, of course, right? We have to. There he is. Hey, Danish, how you doing there, buddy? What's going on with you today? Happy Thursday. What's that? Danish? Danish? Hello? Danish? Just kidding. Danish is not joining us this time around again. What's up, Amon? Musical Bookworm, RD9, Frackberg, and chat. Danish is not going to be joining us today, unfortunately. He's got some stuff going on, things he's dealing with, and we'll have to get him back on the stream maybe next week. We'll see. Fingers crossed. So, but we're going to have this still, we need to keep him here in spirit and in mind because he is very much part of BuildUpDevs. So that is a still image we grabbed from a past stream of him with a big old smile, and he's going to be there asking questions too of for our stream today. But boy, do we have a fun one for you. We're starting this new thing where we're going to have guests on, and we're kicking it off with a very special guest that's going to be important to you all in the community here as part of BuildUpDevs. I see Jay Walter. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Amon, good. I'm glad you're finding that funny. So without further ado, let me kick things off. We are going to have our buddy and friend that I met on Instagram, Rafael. He is he goes by RD9 over. He's laughing at me right now. You all can't hear it. He's laughing because he finds it so funny when I pronounce his name. We're going to talk about this though, I promise. So he goes by RD9 or RDID. He goes by RD9 or RD9K on the interwebs. You'll see his socials and stuff like that if you want to get to connect with him there. But without further ado, let's bring him on along with our frozen Danish. Hello, Rafael. How are you, sir? No, that would not. Oh wait, you're muted. You're muted. Sorry. Say that again.
Oh, I'm muted.
I'm
muted.
I had you muted. Sorry. All right.
That's some technical difficulties. We were past that. That's fine.
Yes.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rafael. Indeed, I'm also known as RD9 in across the web and social medias whatsoever. I am currently one of the moderators of this beautiful community, and I am a web developer from Portugal.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, so let's talk about my pronunciation of your name first, since that always seems to trigger a laugh for you. So why don't you let folks know why that might be funny, or what's the deal? What's the deal?
So I have family in New York, right? Like I have been in contact with them since I was really, really little. And every time they call me, they have this pronunciation that's really harsh of my name, Rafael. They don't talk like that to me, otherwise. But it look like someone is like barking or talk really aggressively at me, and it's weird. But the thing is, in Portuguese, it's not that much of a difference. It's Rafael. It's a really strong name per se to pronounce, especially in English. So for me, it's funny to hear people say because it's weird. But one thing you might know about my name is actually its origin. That came from my father. It was my father's decision between my father and mother, and it was based on the Ninja Turtles.
No
Rafael.
way. That's fantastic. I love Ninja Turtles.
I could have been Leonardo. I could have been Donatello. I could have been Michelangelo. But let's go Rafael, the punk, the most aggressive dude on the clan. And I'm nothing like that. But that's fine. I like the daggers that he has. But that's the origin of my name.
That just made my day. I love Ninja Turtles. I grew up on Ninja Turtles, and that's fantastic. I'm jealous.
It depends on the name that it would be picking up for you.
Yeah. Frackrick says Raf was always my favorite. So there you go, Rafael.
Nobody calls me for that. Nobody calls me for Raf or something like that. It's literally Rafael.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird sometimes.
Sometimes the shorthand that folks, at least for the Ninja Turtles, Raf was like. I think they would even say that in the show.
Yeah, it's Raf.
Yeah.
Here people usually call me by Rafa.
Rafa?
Rafa, yes. That's a Portuguese short name for Rafael.
Rafa. Oh
It's the
wow.
same as saying in English, Rafa.
Yeah. Hafa.
Yeah,
Okay. All right,
that's usually
Hafa.
how people call me here.
Hey Hafa. How you doing, Hafa?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine.
Good, good. We have Vegan Girl who codes in the chat. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us as well. Welcome in, everybody. We're so happy to have you here. So today we're just going to be chatting. If you have questions for Hafa, Rafael, Rafi,
Yeah. Yeah. Let me.
or myself, or anything about BuildUpDevs, feel free to let us know. But Hafa, how did you? I have my first question for you. How did
Yeah,
you
sure.
first, since this is BuildUpDevs related, how did you first come across and learn about BuildUpDevs and like what did it mean to you?
At first, I learned about all this dev community from the niche. I had my personal main account, if we can call it so, on Instagram, and I casually just saw this guy living in Lisbon, and he's not Portuguese. He's a developer working remotely. I'm like, I want that. Let me follow this dude. So amazing content. I'm following it, and I'm getting surprised that there is actually dev-related community. And I was looking for that for a long time. Not going to hop in some forums. What how do you say forum? Forum?
Yeah, that sounds.
That all right? Or platforms or whatsoever to talk to another developers about anything related to the industry. So around the time I actually was about to quit my last job and company, I was like, okay, I'm going to invest some time getting into this community, get it to know people from different backgrounds, cultures, get a little bit more knowledge and help, and also help out people that may need or are in struggle in the beginning. That's where I came from. So I created the RD9 account, as you all know, and that's what I learned actually from you as well, Brian, and Danish, having this thing of the BuildUpDevs, the community that it is. Like a free toxic place, and the work can be toxic sometimes. So for me, it was like, that's it. That's fantastic. That's my end game. That's what I want. So that's actually what BuildUpDevs means to me. A place where there's no toxicity. That's the main goal here, I believe. Like strip it out, talk about the real things. It's not always about the grind, the hustle, or the game itself. Sometimes you just need to chill a little bit. We're all developers, or even from different backgrounds, designs or designers, or whatever, marketing as well. And we're just here for a little bit of chat and a good time.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool.
Did I summarize it correctly?
What? It's not like I'm feeding you these answers. What are you trying to say? That's your it's your
I know. It's
there is
my
no
point of view.
right or wrong
I'm
answer there.
joking.
Yeah. um so you said you came up with the name RD9, right? Is there what's the background with that? How'd you come about with that?
It's really simple actually. So RD comes from my first and last name. I'll say it in Portuguese. It's Rafael Duarte. So that's the R&D. And the 9 was because I was born in the 9th of February. So that's the 9 came from. The 9 was always been a number that followed me through the years.
And I know that's interesting. And I know in some cases you add a K at the end. What's the K?
Yeah, because the username is not available. So the K, I had a lot of things. I had 2 E's in the end, but it was kind of cheesy. So I was like, okay, let's add a K, and the K is for 1,000. Like you said, over 9,000. I'm like, okay, it's 9,000. That's nice. Or like the Marvel thing, Love You 3,000. This time is 9,000 without the Love You, of course, but it's the RD.
Gotcha.
It's a way to have availability in terms of username, so that's cool.
Cool. I see we have Pravan joined us in the chat too. Good to see you. Pravan asks a question. How's life?
Life is good, really good. A little bit on the gray side today that I don't like that much. Outside, at least, it's raining a lot. Not much light getting in, but it's good. I've actually been with this whole COVID thing isolated for the past 2 weeks due to a positive case. Not close to me because I'm closed down on these walls 24/7. 24/7. But yeah, that was quite the experience to be that close. But other than that, everything's going fine. Thanks for asking.
Was it because of something like contact tracing that they found that you might have been in the vicinity of somebody that had it?
No, my girlfriend had a contact with a
I mean, you don't have to go into specifics. Okay, that's fine. That's good enough.
I'm finding the English term actually. Sometimes it's easier for me to find than anything else. But she had contact with someone from work that came out positive.
Oh.
That was kind of irresponsible to go to work knowing that she was in contact with someone that was also later positive and obviously would be positive. So she had to stay 14 days, if I'm not mistaken. And for a full week, I had to stay inside the house, completely isolated from there. So this was like my bedroom where I stand right now.
Oh my goodness.
With the whole bedroom and a whole bed on the floor and all that. I had to do that for a whole week. So that was quite the experience.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. I see we have Sahil join us as well. Hello, Sahil. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Welcome in. So yeah, chat, if you have any questions for Rafi,
pop it up.
Pop it up in the chat. Otherwise, we'll just keep talking here and hanging out. So I guess, Rafael, let's talk about your web development background. How did you get started in development in general? What piqued your interest? When did you know? I guess let's go back even further here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When did you know that you wanted to do some type of development, and how did you figure that out?
When I was in school, not high school, before high school. I don't know the exact term you guys call it. But when I was there, I had a lot of video-related projects, and I was going towards more of a videographer kind of thing with projects, sketches, and all that. But out of curiosity, everything needed like some kind of platform that I was sometimes thinking about, okay, let's build some simple website. Like literally in Wix at the time, and Weebly and all that with all those technologies. But we ended up like working with the CSS and HTML structure till a point that the platforms will give us a chance to work with it, just to make it more custom than not look so much like a template or something, just to showcase projects. But I was actually liking that process of building a platform for whatever reason. We ended up creating some kind of gaming review websites and all that based on those technologies. But I decided I want to go and pursue something related with software engineering, because I really like the computer itself and the software that you can do and what you can actually build with a computer. So I went to high school with science and technology course. And it was really, really, really interesting because it had 0 point of technology and it was all about science. So that's very nice. Obviously, I failed last year. Obviously, I realized I failed because I was not paying the right attention on classes. I was more interested in other things. But then I get a hold to it, managed to go to college, and actually decided to go for something more abroad, like with more areas than only development, because at the same time I could get in not really into software engineering, or there weren't many courses on university that were really, really good in software engineering. It's more like informatic. That's more of a Portuguese word, but you get the point. So I got there, was communication and multimedia. So it was all about communicating, marketing, digital marketing, design, videography, photography, and eventually web development.
Yeah, how did that happen? How did that transition happen, right? And here's the thing, what's interesting about that to me is like there's quite a lot of people that I've met that went into school or higher education at university, and they studied kind of communications, they studied marketing, media, the stuff that you're talking about, and then they made this transition to become a developer. So what helped you make that transition? Or like from, I know you had that beginning part like in grade school, high school, but then you went into college with something different, and then you switched back. So how did that transition happen?
I really was into photography at some point in the beginning, because that was the core and focus of the first years of the course itself. But my goal was always the development, the web development, that unfortunately only came in the end. So imagine yourself like first, it's a 3 years course. So imagine yourself in the first and second year with, it's a GPD, right? The average of your grades. GPA. Okay, imagine yourself. Here is from 0 to 20. So first and second year, let's say 13, it was around that. And in the last year alone, if I consider only the grades of that last year, it'll be like 18. So that was the year I had the web development stuff. That was like, okay, this is what I want.
Yeah.
Not that I didn't want the things before. It was just like too specific for something that I didn't want to pursue in the future.
Yeah.
I really want more towards web development. Although I gotta say that gave me a lot of tools that was great to have, and I have put in practice in companies these days. But yeah, I was aiming specifically towards the end of the course for the web development.
Nice.
Which sucked, by the way.
But
so it's always good.
Oh, so what I want to make sure I'm understanding correctly. You found that so your other courses you kind of did blah at, right? And then when it came to that web development course, you found you did really well.
I did average on most of the classes, let's say, and then the grades that I had. I did average until I came to the web development part, and actually 3D modulation itself as well. That's where I excelled in terms of grades, because that was my primarily objective, let's say. I also did good in photography, videography, because I had that interest in all that. But when it came to the part of communication, the theory behind it, you got to know it all. And I'm like, okay, I might not apply all this. So yeah, give me the web development stuff.
Yeah.
And it was only like a year. That's a shame, but that's fine. WordPress is great, because that's what we learn.
You learned WordPress in college. Okay, that's interesting too. Then.
Yeah. WordPress and PHP.
Cool. So I guess with that, then what is your go-to programming language of choice nowadays? Then.
I gotta go with LampStack.
LampStack. Okay. What is that for folks that don't know what LampStack
is? Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. All right, because most of the projects that I do have to be developed in a shared hosting system. Therefore, they run cPanel platform or Plesk, and they run on Linux. So it's a Linux machine with Apache server, and it comes with PHP built in. So I have to build with PHP technology. So at the point, I use PHP with Laravel, and for front end, that's the backend part. For front end, I use Vue at the moment.
Nice. Okay. Very cool. And then so you started out at school with PHP, and so between then and now, were there other programming languages that you experienced and used and tried out?
A little bit of C# for Unity. I did a virtual game quiz for brand activation on my last company. I experienced as well with Python, scripting with Python, and I went down to C for Arduino. Some EOT stuff that I actually did as well on my last company where I was, and is primarily that. So JavaScript front end is something, or we can say that I touch with TypeScript as well. I develop with TypeScript at the moment, so that is considered like a superset of a language or a language itself compared to JavaScript. But that's it. And actually, my last tryout was Go.
Oh.
The language from Google, Go Fiber for web servers. It's a lot like Express, so it's cool. In terms of performance, is really great.
Nice. So let's talk about, I want to hear about your journey from college and then landing that first job, because I think a lot of people in the community can maybe benefit from hearing what your journey might be like and see what they can maybe apply to their situation that they might have.
Okay, so
how'd you land that first job? What was that like?
When you are in college last year, you have to finish the course with an internship, a curricular internship. That means that you have an internship that is not paid. So it's 3 months, literally your parents maintaining you to go to work. It's kind of like that. Some companies pay at the end or actually pay you for it, but many of them, especially locally in the area, that's where I got mine, that doesn't happen. And in Portugal, it's a little bit rare. Only if the company comes from another country. They have a different culture and all that. But in Portugal, that doesn't happen as well.
Interesting.
So I landed the curricular internship for 3 months. They liked my job, they liked what I did, and mainly the dedication that I had, because I understood quite early that, okay, college didn't, or university, as you call it, didn't actually taught me much. of web development. Like I said, it was based on WordPress, and we were developing from scratch websites at the point and platforms. So I had to get a hold on things, and fortunately, I had a good team and I had good people that I still am friends with them today. That taught me a lot of things and keep actually teaching me a lot of things that helped me go through the years in terms of development. But after learning that internship, I progressed for a professional internship, which is paid by the state or the government. During that internship, like I just want to point it out, like my path so far has not been your average developer path. A lot of things happen that is not usual to happen. Okay. Like for example, I was in the middle of my professional internship, and the project manager that was in charge and team leader of our department decided to go off for another company for something better on his own and all that. So someone needed to get that position, all right? And it was between me and a guy that was there for like almost 2 years, that actually 2 years ago came out of college as well. But I was really, really green in there. So this guy that I still talk with him every day.
Sorry to interrupt, but let's pause for a second. When you say, because some people may not know what that term means, when you say you're really, really green, what does that mean?
That means at the time I didn't know almost anything.
Okay.
You know, like deploy a website, develop everything from scratch. I was still getting a hang at PHP and the backend process, front end as well, learning more and more and getting a hold of Bootstrap, that what we were using at the time in terms of CSS framework. So
you were green, and it was you against somebody else that had some more experience.
Yeah. And the former project manager, the guy that I still talk today, decided to go to the meeting with the bosses, the CEOs of that company, and tell them like, hey, if I'm going to be honest, I'll rather have this guy on that position than the other one because he shows more potential of growth. And that was me. And so early on, really, really early on, in the middle of a professional internship, a position of project management was given to me, which at first by the CEOs and were in charge of the company looked at me as that green guy,
right?
That didn't know much and all that. So when I started to actually go to meetings with clients and bringing projects home, talking with clients and giving a little bit of a different vision and trying to enhance their business other than just go there and sell a website just because we need the money and it's cool. No, like, get this product, it's going to be better and good for your business because of this and that. They start to recognize kind of the value and give me more credit inside the company till a point that like you were inside the administration itself. So that was like my path in the first company that I was.
Nice. Okay.
So after the professional internship, I immediately jumped to a contract, full no-term contract. So it's you're really on board, and I stuck there. I was there for a year and a half until eventually I decided to go off and pursue something more, let's say, challenging. Because imagine this: at the time I was 23, a 23-year-old boy, already in a project management position, and after a year and a half, like 25 or 24. Something like that. I was teaching people that was like 27 and 29, between those ages. And I'm like, no, I'm supposed to be learning. I want to be learned. This can't be it.
Yeah.
This can't only be it. So I'm like, I looked and searched for like an opportunity that would give me this growth that I so wanted and so needed. That eventually happened and came to me. Actually, they came to me. They contact me. I go there. I go to the interview. It was again with this guy. I was working with the same team I work on that company, which was the former project manager. That got out. They called me like, hey, I got this opportunity for you here. It's really cool. We're working on brand activation. So it's not about websites. It's about interactive applications and all that for festivals, parties and all that. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I get everything good on that company to get out, like assured that the next person that's going to succeed will have everything fine. Projects are closed. That was on my hand. And I decided to go to the next challenge. That was in brand activation.
Nice.
So this first company I got out because I was stagnating myself in terms of knowledge, and I'm like, I need something new. I need something that pushes me to a next level. I want to learn more. I want to learn more as max as possible, and so I can help out and be helped out. It's kind of a trade thing. On the last company, it was a little bit different. I get out of there out of exhaustion, literally, because brand activation world is really, really tough.
Why? What specifically was making it tough?
We usually work. Our biggest work part was in the summer, where the festivals, like the summer festivals, like Rock in Rio, that you might know, and we have a lot of more here. And we were making like interactive applications, games, so people can stand in line, play a little game, and receive something from the brand. So therefore, it's called brand activation to enhance the brand on a specific event. And we were doing this. And the thing is, a website is something you can do in 2 weeks. Is something sometimes you do in a month, 3 months, 6 months, depends on the structure of the website and longevity of the project itself. On brand activation, a request comes a month earlier from the event itself. It's discussed for 2 weeks back and forth between companies, is accepted 2 weeks till the event. The design assets that came from that company that contracts us takes their time, and you only have like a week to develop everything and deploy everything and be ready and ship it over. So I was developing and building up everything together on Aveiro, which is a city in Portugal, and we need to deploy it in Lisbon. That's where the niche is. So like the travel itself is 2.5 hours, nothing special, but all that adding up, and the fact that sometimes you need to put all-nighters in a row. So the craziest episode that I have is like 72 hours working nonstop. Yeah, that happened. That happened. If I tell this to people, so many people will tell me like, "Hey, are you stupid or what?" But that happened immediately, like 1 or 2 months after I got on that company. Like, okay, I want the position, I'll do it. Every single person on the team was there in Lisbon. I'm talking about marketing designers, account managers. Everyone was there working on that project because it was going bad because of one person inside the company. But we all came up as the company, and we made sure that the project still went on, and it went on on that festival. But it was like 72 hours awaken, and around say 60, 68 fully working. I'm being serious, like completely always working. Like, here's your meal, eat, still working, connecting Arduinos, wires, LEDs, LED rings. So just for you to have a little bit of an idea how exhausting that job could be. But that wasn't the hardest part.
No, because wait, hold on. That wasn't the hardest part. That sounds like a lot of pressure, a lot of exhaustion.
No,
it is. Vegan girl who codes mentioned she also worked for them and said it's hell.
I agree with you on that. I gotta say.
So there's more. Wait, there's more.
There's more. There's more. There's way more. The thing is, let's make a statement here. Like, this is not okay. Okay.
Yes.
Like, never accepted something like that. You can work on brand activation and be cool with it and do a lot of fun projects and all if everything is correctly done. But I develop a pattern between companies that this usually happens when the team is really, really small. Like, it feels like everyone needs to do the work for two to make it up for a bigger team that should be existing, but it isn't. So actually, it was worse after, because at this time, yes, you have the whole team there, right? Everyone is doing the same. Everyone is doing the same with you. Everyone is committing to it. Okay, we know bad things happen. Okay, we need to fix this. So we came together as a company. We fixed it. After it came the more quiet part of the year. And it was between the developers only. The developers were the one that in production that would go to the event, stay there. So staying a week in Lisbon, away from home, and then come back, and a week after go to Lisbon again for another week. And it was going like this slowly, but it was starting to get exhausting actually. So when it came the next summer, that's when we got out. It was not that aggressive as the first one, and the team was actually even smaller, but we managed to do it really fine. But in the first event, we were like, I was with this guy, the former project manager of the first company, and we were looking at each other like, man, we are the only ones here, actually, on this event. We are working our asses off 16 hours a day. All right. Getting to sleep at 4 a.m. That's when the event ended. Getting up at like 8 to 9 because we need to go to that part of Lisbon, stay there, lunch, park the van. That's really hard to do in Lisbon. And then go walk towards the event, get ready, get the action ready, get everything ready before it even opens the doors to the public. And everyone was like in the company, like really cool. I mean, it's vacation, it's summertime. We're enjoying here. We're doing our 9 to 6 or 9 to 5 job. It's fine. Oh, we have like we used to have like this dog. It's a breed dog. I don't remember the breed, but like a dog on The Office. They even created like a LinkedIn profile for the dog. It's amazing. like a marketing director. I'm watching that like, oh my God, I'm just working my ass off here.
And somebody's maintaining a LinkedIn profile for a dog.
yeah. And everybody's like cool there. Like I have nothing really strong against that. We need those times, but like
sure.
There is a team that is going through hell in some point, and the other part is just fine. And some people even in chat could come up and like, hey, but you'll be paid for that. Like you might be paid, and we were not being paid for that. We
like
had
overtime
our contract.
Or anything?
No, overtime will go for a bank of hours. That's what it's called. So you can use it later, but with approval of the CEO and all that. So it's a little bit of a. And we built up this bank of hours. And when it came summer, we're like, okay, we need to rest a little bit before this more aggressive period of work that is coming upon us.
Right.
And like, at this point, the bank of hours will be suspended because I need to get advice from the lawyer towards insurance for those hours. And I'm like, okay, so you've been on the market for 8 years and you're calling for insurance now on extra hours? That's weird. It's a way of, hey, I need you guys here right now. I can't have you off. It will be much easier if come clean, transparent, and like, I know you guys deserve the rest, but I need you guys here right now. Okay. I'll make it worth it, I promise. Something like that. That didn't happen. I'm like, I'm done. That was the first time I did something that I do not advise anyone to do, which is getting off a company with no safety. Like
no plan going out of it. You're just like,
plan,
I need to get out right now.
No job to go, no other position. So I just quit. Okay, 1 month that I need to give to the company itself. That's on contract. I did that month, and I was between some calls, interviews, and all that. Until the point I get off that company and people start to give me jobs, work.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. But I want to talk a little bit. I want to dig deeper into that whole like decision that you made, where you're saying you don't advise people to do this, but you felt like you had to do that. What led you to make that? I mean, obviously, the current conditions that you were going through was a main driver for it. But what helped you finally make that decision to say, you know what? I know I don't have any like safety net or another job lined up before I eject out of this one. So what pushed you over that edge, let's say, to just say, you know what, I'm not worried about that right now. I'll figure that out in the future. I just need to get out of here, kind of thing. Exactly.
It was exactly like that. At first, I have this really simple principle. Like, I'm not one of those persons or people like, it's Sunday and I'm like, oh, tomorrow it's Monday, I gotta go to work. I don't like to have this attitude. It's like, oh, tomorrow it's Monday, I will get a hold on this project. Oh, I have the opportunity to do that. Or I'm also in Sunday, later on Sunday, like preparing everything for the next week, and it's fine. It's a continuity. Like, I don't actually live for weekends and all. Like, I can have breaks during the week. I can have a whole mixture of this, only if it's healthy. And every time I came up to a Sunday and I'm like, oh, tomorrow I need to go to work. That's the moment that I like, okay, something is not good. And that's where everything starts
Yeah.
to rumble in your head until the point that you actually just, okay, we need to stop this. I need to get out. I need to go to something else because this is not good. This is not healthy for me. Let's say it that way. So that's usually how it happens. Now, obviously, I wasn't reckless. Like I knew in terms of, financially wise, I was able to stay months at home with bills paid and all that. So I was okay with it doing that. I just don't advise because that's a big gamble that you do with your professional life. Like if things go wrong, things can really go wrong. Fortunately for me, they didn't, but that's why I do not advise anyone just doing things with no safety whatsoever.
So in an ideal situation, how would you suggest somebody leave then out of that type of scenario?
Start looking is the first step. Like if you really believe that you're not okay or not happy where you are, like start looking. Acknowledge that you will find worse, okay? Because you might not be in the worst place in the world. That is a complete true. But aim for the best as possible. So go through meetings, go through interviews while you're there. If you're doing too much work, if you believe you're not happy because you've been doing too much work or not being recognized or compensated whatsoever, slow down a little bit, okay? Because you're being paid to do something, so do that what you're being paid to do. No, don't overextend just because someone asks you and then doesn't reward you after or acknowledge you even, okay? And go through those process of interviews. You even if you don't get accepted or go through, you'll still get the information of what you need to learn. What's your next big step in terms of language, technology, and all that. And once you get that opportunity and you get everything settled with another company, that's where you quit from the company before. That's how I did it the first time. Okay, I already had a position waiting for me at the end of that month on the new company. That's how I would advise people to.
Okay. Fair enough. All right, let's switch gears a little bit. All right, so we talked a lot about your work and your background and how you got started in web development. What are some things that Rafi likes to do for fun? What do you do like that's not tech related, not programming related that you enjoy doing?
Right now it's hard during COVID, so I'll have to say gaming for some reason.
Okay.
It's easy to game a lot, or when people watch series on Netflix and all that, because we're kind of stuck at home, and just to distract yourself, you go through this process. But other than that, I never enjoy much like going outside. People see me as a person who likes to be home, closed, like on his own corner, and all. I'm just a calm person, but like this still affects me. I still like to go outside, feel the fresh air. I like as much as the beaches as the mountains. Doing trails on the mountains and all that, climbing and all that is something that I found relieving to do in terms of exercising and all. But something that I found out, I only did it once, but I really, really, really like to do is skydiving. Yeah, that was one kind of experience.
Wow, that's a bit of a. You've taken so many risks in your life just in this little hour of talking with you. You've taken a risk of just leaving a job without one line up and skydiving, jumping out of a plane.
Yeah. Obviously, with someone paired to you, not alone.
Yes.
But that was, unfortunately, it was at a low height. It was 3,000 meters. Tall.
Unfortunately, it was only 3,000 meters. That's more than I've ever jumped out.
that only gives you like 15 seconds of free fall, and the free fall is the best part. And if I would go like to 7,000, that would be like a minute and a half or a minute free fall. I gotta say, free falling is something else.
I bet.
It's weird. It's really weird. It's really weird.
Can you breathe when that's going on? Like, how does that? That's the one thing I always wondered with skydiving is like, how does somebody breathe?
Honestly, I don't know. You don't, and you actually do. It's weird. Like I said, like I was not nervous. In fact, I was surprised with myself. I was not nervous. I was excited. I was like, yeah, let's jump off a plane. And for them to prevent for you to hold to the airplane, you put you immediately outside the plane.
Yeah.
So you're just standing there.
And they're holding
hold on to the guy holding you up.
Yeah.
And you can't hold anything, so your legs are out below the plane and all that. You
That
feel
would
the
be
breeze, you feel the
terrifying.
fresh air, and you're like, okay, there's no point in return. Let's go. Why wouldn't you be able to breathe while skydiving? I'll tell you. So when they drop, you get this
Yeah.
because it's a new sensation that your brain is still processing it. That's where you cannot breathe. I literally inhale the air and just like, oh.
And you kind of hold it. Yeah, yeah.
And when you like release it and understand the feeling that is going on, and they tap on your shoulder to open up your hands like this, and you got to do a little scorpion on the air, like pulling your legs almost in your back and all that, just to get a better hold of the free fall.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I was like yelling all the way down, like woohoo! Although nobody could hear me, even not the guy, because we're really falling really fast. But that was some kind of experience. The worst part is obviously when they pull the parachute.
Why? Because that means it's
a lot.
over. Or
Yeah, it means it's over, and it's also a lot of pressure. So the suits were not that comfortable.
oh.
And with the whole straps, whole thing, it was kind of like clenching in a specific area, if I may say. So when they pull by the parachute, I was like, okay, that's not cool. I was like hanging in there on the air.
Oh yeah.
With that thing pushing me from there. I'm like, oh, that's not cool. But other than that, it's really, really nice. You can see the colors changing all the way going down. Like you start to see a little green, almost grayscale, sepia kind of colors from above.
Yeah.
Like the blues almost don't exist. It's almost a gray and all that.
Wow.
And as you go down, as you approach, and you get a better vision at it, it gets a really wild view of the horizon and all that. It's a beautiful experience also.
Wow. That's wow. I was not expecting that, but that's cool, man. I've always thought about it.
I want to do it again.
I've always thought about it. My sister and I had planned to go together, but then she ended up going on her own. So I still kind of hold a grudge against her for that, for not like, waiting out for. But it's good that she did, because probably we would have never done it then if it were, waited for me. Some folks in chat. So yeah, you saw Knowledge's question was, wouldn't you be able to breathe while skydiving? Pat in chat says, I'm going to try skydiving next summer. That's awesome. Good luck with that, Pat. Wish you the best and have fun. Lily says, because you get yanked back. Yeah. Knowledge says, the minute there would be enough CO2 in your blood, your CNS would kick in and force you to breathe. Well, yeah, I guess my question
is true.
I just like, what has boggled my mind with it is that like you're dropping through the sky so fast, right? Yeah, like you ever have like a fan blowing in your face, and it's kind of like if it's a really hard fan, right? It's like all that air and pressure is going. It's like, how do you get a chance to like get a breath out of that? You know what I mean? With so much pressure pushing at your face, like, because like you see videos of people's like skin like blah, 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 like flapping in the air from skydiving.
It is
right?
like that.
Yeah,
it is like
that. How do you breathe with that? That's why I always wondered.
Especially in the noise, like the nose, actually the nose goes really high. Yeah, we have pictures all the way down. We have a GoPro that follows us. We have the videos and there are worse people on the team at the point, because this was by the way, the skydiving was a team building.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Welcome to the company. First things up, team builder. We're going skydiving. Get your parachute. Let's go.
that was exactly it. Like that last company and all we talk about, that was one of the team buildings. Not everything was bad. Not everything was wrong. I'll only talk about the bad experience itself. I learned quite a lot there. Actually, it was really, really good to learn, and we had some cool opportunities and meet people, actors, and all that, and important people, kind of. But in terms of skydiving itself, yes, you have like this strong breeze on your face. But imagine this: you going, I don't know the exact speed, if we can compare it, but go really fast on a convertible or something and put your head out. Yeah. You still can breathe, but you get like that blown. It's somewhere like that. Okay. The free fall is just cool because you don't feel the person on your back, because you're following, if you have around the same weight, you're falling around the same velocity, so you don't feel anyone. You're just literally free falling until the point I'm like, is the guy attached to me, or am I like alone here? You gotta let me know, guys. Like, come on.
And then you find out when there's that nice strong yank when the parachute goes, right?
Yeah. I'm like, okay, here I am. It's amazing.
Yeah. Pat
Do
thinks
not.
it's
By the way, sorry,
yeah, yeah.
Brian.
Go ahead.
If you're gonna do it, do not eat strong food before.
Oh,
Okay, because I had
yeah,
a colleague,
queasy.
a work colleague, yeah, that just vomited
Ooh.
mid-air. That was like crazy.
Mid-air?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Oh, so that
She came down
instructor.
with the suit like all. The thing is, I can't imagine people going on the street like normal. It's a beautiful day. Pff, it's really good. No, look, it's vomit. I don't know where it came
Well,
from.
it's kind of maybe it's good
Was
luck.
that a
Kind of,
bird?
yeah. You ever heard of that? Like if a bird poops on you, it's good luck. Maybe if a skydiver vomits on you, it's good luck. That's I'm gonna go with that. I feel bad for the like professional that took that teammate of yours on the skydive and got vomit on them probably.
No,
Uh,
no, no. It was in the back. Like we are on the front part, so she just vomited for the front.
but while free falling, you said right?
No, 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 no. On the parachute part, the free falling for her was
Oh,
amazing.
okay, I got you.
When
Okay,
it
okay.
stopped and it
I
was really slow, I'm like,
I
oh, I'm
was
not feeling so good, but and
yeah,
there you go.
I got you.
I was really
I was thinking it was when they were free falling and then it just goes back in that direction and they're behind him.
oh no, that would be so bad.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm glad they
Um.
have helmets.
Yeah. What else we got? Knowledge says though the niche seems to be really happy about it. Yes, the niche is so happy. He's just held that smile the entire 45, 55 minutes we've been live here. So well done, the niche. It's so good to see you so happy right now. um, Pat finds it fascinating that that was a team building activity for you. Good morning to you as well. Finite Singularity. Thank you for joining us. Welcome in. Pat's question: does it feel like a car crash when the parachute is pulled?
No, a car crash is worse.
Okay.
Way worse. I experienced that. It's worse. It just pulls you up. It's not that bad. Just the thing like the suit itself and the strips, they were like a little bit clunchy.
You're being very delicate with describing that, so that's good. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
Knowledge says you know how planes deal with what goes down the toilet, right? I always just assume that it stays in a reservoir somewhere on the plane, like
no,
kind of like
depends on the plane.
what's that?
Depends on the plane.
It depends on the plane. Some
Yeah,
planes
some
just
planes
like shoot
just
it out.
open. Hey man, there's a hole. Bye bye, and things go
But
like
wouldn't that
crazy.
change the pressure of things in the plane and like cause the plane to be a little unstable if they opened up holes to shoot out junk?
It's a small hole and probably controlled by a compression air chamber
Interesting.
before the poop goes. Bye bye.
The poop.
And
Now
and
you're
so
not
on.
being so delicate with your words. Finite says it's stored until the plane lands. That's what I thought. I guess in most like commercial airlines probably do something like that.
Yeah.
And it's not like it's changing the amount of weight on the plane, right? It was once in the person and now it's just in a different area on the plane, that weight. So
Exactly.
all right,
That's
next topic. I forgot how we get here. Oh, what you like to do for fun. That's not so you're saying gaming. What games do you play?
At first, I actually started really young playing, and that's what taught me English. It was actually games,
Okay.
especially RPGs. We can call it RPGs with text base. So the characters had no voice. They talk to text chats or chat or balloons or whatever. It's easier to say it was like Final Fantasy. The Final Fantasy series was like the first one that I get a hold and really want to understand the English behind it because the story was cool for me.
Nice.
But other than that, I just play more competitive games or more chill, but around the competitive, nothing with so much of a story at the moment or all that. So we're talking about CS, around that. Although I don't play CS not right now. I'm playing Genshin. That's not a good popularity game right now because of the gacha system. But I've been playing Genshin just to chill a little bit because it can be a little bit of a single player game and co-op at the same time, not really competitive.
Yeah.
But other than that, it would be CS, Overwatch, sometimes FIFA. I'm not really attached to soccer or football, whatever we came from, but it is around that. And once in a while, there is like a really good story game that I can get a held on, and I'll play it for the story or for the knowledge that the game can bring because it's really cool sometimes.
Cool. That's interesting. That's awesome. And well, speaking of single player games, and you sounds like you tend to lean towards them a little bit. What are your thoughts on the newest one that came out, Cyberpunk? Are you interested in it? Is that something that you'd play or no?
It's something that I would play eventually in the near future. I'm obviously interested. I'm not just interested right now in playing those singular games with story and really be focused on it, because I actually we had a chance with I don't remember the call of the publisher to get a hold on GTA 5
Hmm.
for free. Although it's cheap at this moment, but it's fine. So it's a cool game. I haven't finished it yet. So there's goes my will to finish a single player story game, because you
Gotcha.
have work, you have all the beauty of those other games that are more competitive is you hop in, do a quick match or two, and get out and go back to do something else. Just for that release of stress during the day or something, nothing special like that. But in terms of story, yeah, Cyberpunk seems amazing for the future that represents. It's a good alternative to see, and probably a good story. And man, come on, Keanu Reeves, what can we hope for other than that? So it will be interesting, yes.
Yes. Pranav says games and movies are a really good resource to learn English. That's really interesting. I did not realize that was how some folks do that. So that's cool. That's a great way to learn a language. I think
It's a process. It's a process. It was with games and movies, and the combination of both.
Yeah.
It's really a process.
Wow. Vegan Girl Code says need to go, guys. Had a great live. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Have a good rest of your day, Vegan Girl. Vegan. I could just say vegan girl. I don't know. Have a good rest of your day, and thanks for tuning in. One other thing I wanted to ask you about, because it's something that resonates with me. You mentioned that you like to stay home, right?
Yes.
So, have you heard the term like homebody?
Probably not.
It's an English thing, I think, probably, or like a U.S. thing, maybe. Chat, let me know if you've heard of that before. So I consider myself a homebody as well, like, which is the way I describe what you were describing, where I could stay at home for long periods of time without feeling crappy.
Me as well.
I mean, I do want. I basically it's like it's a the way I measure it's like a certain tolerance level that you have of being in the same place for a long period of time. And for me, like I think I have a higher tolerance level than, well, for me, my wife, I have a higher tolerance level than her when it comes to being at home. And so it's been like a good balance, I've found, at least being with my significant other, being the opposite of that, to help force me to get out of my comfort zone a bit, and
yeah,
get
I
out
guess
of
it's the
the
same.
house.
It's the same as me. Same
Oh,
same
yeah?
for me.
That's good.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
Cool.
For me, it's easy to be many hours. Like sometimes people are like, "How can you spend 16 hours in front of computers?" I'm like, "It's fine. I don't feel fatigued. I don't feel nothing. For me, it's cool. It's easy actually. Obviously, from time to time, and I have some requirements to do that. For instance, I have to have this window all the time open for natural light, and I do a lot of breaks. I look outside, look at different distances for the eyes and all that, and acknowledge that there are like life outside. Sometimes there are cows on the backyard of the apartment here, so it's always cool, like to have a little bit of chat.
Do you ever try to talk to the cows and just go meow?
Every time. That's how we communicate. Yeah.
Okay. What do they say to you?
Moo, something like that. And I'm like, I don't know what you said, but that's fine.
Clip it. I'm clipping that. We're saving that sound bite.
No, we're not gonna save it. We'll do it better.
You're gonna do it better? All right, let's hear a better one.
I can't do it. I can't do it better. That was almost on point, because that's literally what they did.
Yeah. Now it's just Brian is a hermit confirmed. I mean, I'm not denying it. I am a hermit. I tend to be. Pat says, yes, I've heard the term homebody. Lily says, I have only heard it in the U.S., not when I still lived where I got you. Okay, cool. Pranav says the graphics look really good. For Cyberpunk, that is. My machine can't even open it, so I have to watch it on YouTube to experience some of the great graphics. Yeah, I know it's pretty Cyberpunk. When I was looking, I'm not really that into the single player games. I like playing socially, because otherwise, for me personally, it's not. I guess because of the hermit kind of thing, right? I'm already kind of spending time on my own in my own head, and for me, like, gaming is a way to kind of socialize a bit more. So I tend to play more multiplayer. I lean on that and play multiplayer games.
Something like that. I can relate with that. Okay, for sure.
And so yeah, like I was just looking at it though, Cyberpunk, because it looks interesting, but it's not something that I'd probably play. And to see the requirements that it had on there, like you have to, if I understand correctly, you have to have like the latest NVIDIA graphics card, the 3070 or the 3000 series graphics card, in order to be able to play it. It's like, how many people have that? Because that's been in limited supply anyway too. It's been hard to get that graphics card.
It's if you want to play with RTX technologies, yeah, you can play with the 20s. the 20 series, 2070 or 2080 Ti, but they call out for the 30s series because unfortunately for many people that bought the previous, it will be cheaper and with a better performance because they enhance so much the graphics card.
Yeah.
But that's only if you want to literally max out the game. They actually have some really, really good minimum requirements for the game.
Okay.
It's a really low graphics, so that's cool.
Knowledge says your grammar is all wrong. I don't know what I said wrong there, Knowledge, but I'll wait for you to. It's been hard to get because everyone has wanted the card because of 20. Oh, okay, I got you. Pranav says it's normal for me to stay in front of my PC for hours, but I also take a walk around the home. Yeah, I try to do that as well. Like I try to take a walk, or like for me, my excuse is like maybe I need to run to the store to get something, or take my daughter somewhere or something like that. That's like my getting out time. And then I'll be like, okay, I'm done for today. That was enough. That quick little trip. Cool. Now it says you were mooing, but the grammar was, oh, I got you wrong. Yeah, I got you. Well played, Knowledge. All right, so we're getting towards the end here, Rafael. What is if there's anything, any parting words you'd like to share with people, like what do you want your sign off message to be? Let's put it that way.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
With no preparation whatsoever.
Well, that's the way we roll.
You want to cut people off guard. Based on a really sad thing that happened on Portugal this week, and a whole bunch of things that came across my life. All I can say, and this is not in a dark sentence, this is actually a really, really positive thing. Do always what you want and live out life as you want for the maximum possible way as you want. Okay, don't restrain ever yourself from some situation because of someone else or what someone else thinks at all. Okay, because it's like it's an instant flash. So enjoy life, and if life for you is work, whatever it is, just really, really enjoy it. Don't think twice. Just go for it.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for that message. That was very well done. And thank you for being on the show. Thank you for being on BuildUpDevs. And folks,
thank you.
Of course, we're happy to have you. And thank you so much for being a moderator in the community, Rafael. We appreciate you. And I'm sure we'll be hearing more from you. So folks, those of you that are part of this community, BuildUpDevs community, be sure to reach out to Rafael. You probably saw all of his social media accounts on Instagram, Twitter. Although Rafael said that he doesn't really go on Twitter that much, so maybe that's
yeah, it's not a thing on Portugal.
Instagram's probably better, right?
Yeah, Instagram. You can also join on Discord, add me up on Discord as well, and you can talk through there. No problem.
Oh, you're reminding me to plug the BuildUpDevs Discord. There it is right there. So if you want to join in on the BuildUpDevs Discord server, so you can keep conversating with Rafael and the great folks here in this community, yourselves included, be sure to join up on the Discord there. If you'd like to be a guest on a future stream, we're going to be doing more of that moving forward. Discord's the way to do that. So be sure to join up there and reach out to myself, Rafael, or the niche, or all of us. Let us know that you're interested in what you might want to talk about, or if we just want to get to know you kind of thing, that's fine too. This is a community after all, so let us know. And with that, we'll sign off for today. So thank you all so much for tuning in for this BuildUpDevs Live. Thank you, Rafael, again for being on the show. We were happy to get to know you. Bye, the niche.
Bye, the niche.
Let's wave bye to the niche over there.
How's your face, the niche? Are you feeling well, guy? I hope you are.
That's gotta hurt to hold a smile for that long.
Yeah, man. That's a new record right there. Amazing.
Yes. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of your day wherever you are in the world. We'll see you next week. We'll have another stream and maybe another guest. We'll see. All right. Bye.
Adios.